Hey guys, I'm Nicholas Beliveau. Thank you for joining us again for another interview here at ICMTL. I'm here today with Nikita, who's one of the entrepreneurs part of the program, and we're going to dive in today to learn a bit about him, his story, and the companies he's working on. So thanks for joining us, Nikita.
Thank you for the invite. I appreciate it. My first ever interview like that, so I'm excited.
So maybe start by telling us, tell us a bit about you, because you've been an entrepreneur for quite some time, right?
I'd say so. I was born and raised in Kazakhstan, which is a post-Soviet Union country. I immigrated to Canada when I was 19 with my mother, and initially I come from I could say entrepreneurship family. My father is a big businessman back home. He's been a lawyer, he's been a policeman, then he started his businesses, multiple businesses, real estate, security agencies, things like that. However, I was raised by my mom, so he wasn't really that much of an influence on me because I wasn't with him most of the time. And when I immigrated here, I didn't really know why.
How old were you?
I was 19.
Okay.
That was roughly 8 years ago. And so when I came here, I didn't really have a purpose. I didn't know why I came because I just followed my mom. She said, let's go. I was like, okay, let's go.
Are you an only child?
Now she has a daughter from her new marriage. My sister, she's 9. And but I was always the only. I was raised with full love from my grandma and my mom. And, I was always surrounded by a lot of women, a lot of love and care, which I'm very grateful for. And I think that has ingrained a lot of good qualities in me. I'm a very caring person, I'm very compassionate, and that helps a lot these days with girlfriends. They all like to be cared for. So I'm very good with women, right? I believe so. So when I came here, I didn't really know why. I didn't speak English. I only had a very basic, like, my name is Nikita, I'm from Kazakhstan. That's it, I studied English a little bit in school, but it wasn't anything deep. So it took me some time to adapt because it was hard in terms of immigration is a very hard process because you live all your life back there, right? It's a different world back home.
Did you work prior, or you were just in school the whole time?
I was in school, then I finished college. I graduated first I was in law school because my dad wanted me to follow his path and become a lawyer, but I didn't like it, and I left after the first year and I started in management, and I graduated from College of Commerce of my city in 2009, and right the following September I immigrated here.
Okay.
So I didn't really have any work experience, and in the first couple of years it was pretty hard in terms of you have to learn the language, make some friends, see what's going on. It was the first time for me to see black people, to see gay people. It was very, very different. We don't have this back home, so and then I started just working different jobs. I've done a lot of work in transportation, construction. It was pretty much a lot of physical work, and which I believe has shaped me into the man who I am today. I'm not afraid of any work. I take on opportunities whenever they present themselves, and this experience of hard work for about 8 years has made me a man I am today. What
was your first job? When you got here, tell me the first
my first job
4
here
months
was
in Montreal.
Pizza delivery. Yeah, I got a car right away and I started working delivering pizza and washing dishes in a restaurant in NDG down here. Very nice place, Pizza Pinoli. Very nice owner, Mohammed. It was a really, really good relationship with him.
Okay.
But then...
how did you get that job?
Through my stepfather, because he worked there for a while when he just got here, and then he recommended me to go there. Then I started doing distribution, kind of a postman. Every morning you go out and you distribute advertisement, and then I started doing that as a driver. I started
So any job you could get that was better and better.
Anything that was paid, and so I wouldn't just sit at home. I was also doing boxing very intensively for the first 2 years because I didn't have friends, and boxing was always my passion. So I started doing it here pretty much 5 times a week. I found a good coach. We formed a good relationship. I started competing. I did 4 fights, won all of them. Then I had very good opportunity to go up and start doing it professionally. But I started partying and I just blew it up. I was young, 20 years old.
Yeah.
You still want to party. You don't want to like train. I mean, it was
Makes
what it
sense.
was.
Yeah.
And
we've all been there.
yeah.
So then what was your first entrepreneurial experience then? What was the first time that you said, okay, I'm going to try to work on a project, or that you didn't even think you were working on a project, but it ended up in retrospect being your first entrepreneurial project?
Right. Well, how I came about all this entrepreneurial thing and why I came here, and like eventually, is last year in May, very recent, I went to this event called Millionaire Mind. Was hosted by New Peaks organization, and I met there my current girlfriend. So it's all about personal development. They introduced me to all of this concept of being a millionaire, striving to become the best version of yourself, that you have unlimited potential, blah blah blah. And then I started reading books. My first English book was about Arnold Schwarzenegger, Total Recall, his biography. And I resonate a lot with him since he was an immigrant.
I never read it, but apparently it's a very, very good book.
It is a very, very good book. I could give it to you. I can bring it to you if you don't have it.
Yeah,
and so I resonate a lot with him since he's an immigrant. No one ever believed in him, and he's considered one of the most successful immigrants in history.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna go over his accomplishments, and I think a lot of people know what he's done. So since last year in May, I started diving into a lot of personal development. I attended, I think, 4 seminars. We went to Las Vegas, New Jersey, New York with my girlfriend. Traveled, had some fun, met a lot of new people that I didn't know before. And my first entrepreneurial experience is my current business, my fur hats. In Russia, fur is very, very popular, and I've purchased my first fur hat about 6 years ago, and the quality of it is amazing. The aesthetics, you look glamorous, you look fancy, you stand out of crowd. And since in Montreal we have very cold winters, long and cold, I decided to bring it here. Last year I didn't do much marketing. It was just this very, very beginning. I sold about 17 hats, and this year now we have a website. I'm doing a couple marketing campaigns, and I decided to come to this course to scale my business and to completely switch my surroundings, because I believe that you become what you surround yourself with, and for the many
The
years,
average of 5 people that you're with is
right.
Is
and
you.
For the many years, I've been surrounded with hard workers, mostly immigrants, over 40, having families. So throughout my life, I've always had so much potential in everything I do, but I guess I didn't have that father hand to ingrain this discipline in me to go all in when I start something. So I would start something, I would get to that level where I need to push a bit harder, and then I would be like, okay, I'll blow it up, right? So and I was like, well, I've been working hard for so many years, and I think coming here, how I found out about this program, by the way, is they had a business boot camp this summer here, like a 3-day thing. So I came here with my girlfriend, and I have spoke to Madeline and a couple other guys. They were like, that's a very interesting program. So that's what brought me here.
Cool. And so far, like we're only a month or 2 into the program.
Yes.
Have you already seen a difference from already just changing your surrounding? What has been the biggest change? Because I'm guessing there has been some, or...
The biggest change for me is I'm able to... I don't know, it's a good question. Well, I'm taking time off, first of all, for my body, because I've been working hard for the past couple of years in construction. So I was like, okay, I'm going to take a little time off to let my mind, observe and take all the information in, meet new people. And so far, throughout these 2 months, well, it was a great experience. We did a contest at Dawson E-Week.
Yeah.
And in terms of presenting skills and, convincing people to believe in your idea. That was my whole point why I started doing that. It was a workout fitness studio, which is a cool concept. We'll see where we're going to go with that. But I believe that taking on every opportunity, putting yourself out there, that's the key. I've also been a member of Toastmaster for the past few months. It's
Oh,
It's
cool.
been 4 months, and that's where I started, to improve a little bit my public speaking skills. Yeah, so far I don't see that much of a big change. Especially I have some struggles with my girlfriend these days, so that takes a lot of my energy out of me. But I believe that everything in life happens for a reason. I've had so many crazy things happen to me. I've been down and up, jail, then working good, making good money, and
Uh,
and then in the end, even though at the point I thought, oh wow, that's so bad, I realized that it wasn't bad. It was for a reason. It taught me a lot, and
yeah.
and then it led me to meet someone, and then it led me to meet another person, and then everything in life is for a reason. And I believe the reason I found this program, the reason I'm sitting here with you, it's all going somewhere. I have quite a few other things that I'm working on. I've met a guy, he's 87 years old, who is now my mentor.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, it was 2 months ago. I was working in this construction building for 6 months, and I always get along with people, right? So there's a lot of old ladies, and I was friends with all of them. And one of them is, her name is Paula. She's 91 years old, from London, living alone in a big penthouse. So I would always come down to her, we'd have a coffee, I would help her out with some stuff. And she was like, well, why are you doing this job? I see you're a beautiful young man, you have a clear mind. Why are you here? I was like, I don't know, I'm just here. That's what I do for now. She said, why wouldn't you try yourself in modeling and acting? I was like, I've thought about it, but I've never really taken much of an action. So she found this man who has been in the film industry all his life here in Montreal. His daughter is an actress in the US. He came down and met me at her apartment initially. We had a conversation. He asked me a few questions, right? And then he liked me. So now he coaches me basically every week. We meet at a studio. We work in front of the mirror on my acting skills, posture, and all that. And he's ready to introduce me to all of his friends, actors, to guide me through the process. He introduced me to a few agencies. So I'm very, very excited about that. He bought me a book about audition, how to pass it. And not only in terms of acting, but he's ready to mentor me in life, which I'm very, very grateful for. I've never had this father figure, I would say. Even though my father is there, I wouldn't say we are not close. We talk from time to time, once in 2 months, I really love him, but I think that for some reason we're not at the moment in our lives yet where we could actually, I would say connect, I guess it's gonna be later. Yeah, he's very far away, and
he's still in Kazakhstan.
He's in Kazakhstan. He has his family. I have 2 brothers and sister from his new family.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm very excited for the future, and yeah, in terms
cool, man.
of modeling, acting, yeah.
So, you have a lot of projects going on, and from your description of yourself, I'm sure you have now set maybe a clearer vision.
Yeah.
But right now, what is the thing that you would say that's the biggest pain, the thing that's holding you back the most, whether it's for your fur hats or for your modeling or whatever you want to achieve? In the past you've said what was holding you back was you were building it up and you just never went all in.
Yeah.
From that experience, now, what's the thing that's maybe holding you back or that's bothering you the most, that is not letting you move as quick as you might want to move?
Right. I would say I still struggle. I believe that in everything that we do, our biggest rival is ourselves. Everything you indulge in, either it's sports or business, you only get what you put in, right? So you only get back what you put in. And at some points, I believe that I can do much more than I do now in terms of, time management, prioritizing things, actually realizing, okay, this is what I must focus on. This is maybe that could wait. Also, I believe that women take a lot of energy out of you. And so far from what I've read, the most successful businessmen, entrepreneurs in history always had a self-denying, woman, caregiver, home, not too much ambitious. And right now the girlfriend that I have is very ambitious, and I mean, it's not bad, but we oftentimes, clash our heads to each other, and that puts me off the track because I do a lot of things on a daily basis, and when I come home, I just want to relax and have some peace, recharge, and go out another day and do things. And when you come home and you argue about this, about
you need a healthy relationships. I think that's
yeah.
whether with men or women in any case, you need
Definitely.
people that support you and but okay, yeah, but on that point of recharging, I'm curious, and I haven't asked anybody this question yet, but do you meditate?
I do meditate. I try to meditate every morning, but I believe meditation can be everywhere, and it's all about your breathing. I think people underestimate breathing big time, and actually breathing deep throughout the day, taking those moments, 10, 15, 20 seconds to just take those deep breaths, it makes you grounded, and you're able to think clearly, you're in the present moment, and it's so much easier to perform on a different level. And there are techniques, actually. I've attended a lot of workshops on NLP, neuro-linguistic programming. So there's this guy, his name is David Barkos, and one of the exercises that he promotes, I could say, that he does on a daily basis to get you to the state of alpha. I'm just gonna show it once because it's kind of funny. So basically you sit down and you go for as long as you can. So basically you
breathe out,
you breathe in as harder as you can, and then you breathe out for as long as you can. Like the best, like if you could go for a minute or longer, you repeat that 5 times, just closed eyes, then take a few deep breaths with your nose, you open your eyes, the movie Limitless?
Yeah.
You think like you actually see everything like that. Everything is like so in details. You're like, boom, boom, boom. Actually, like for real, man, try it out. And
I'll test
all
it
of
out.
you guys for watching, it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if you make it a habit every day, even in the morning, don't have time for meditation, it takes 2-3 minutes.
I think setting habits or just having a routine, whether it be morning or night,
Oh yeah.
ideally both, is really, and that's a common theme. And I'm sure we could even have an hour conversation on that, since you do read a lot and attend these seminars. But like Tim Ferriss, I think, is one of the kings at setting routines and studying routines.
Right.
But I've started implementing that this year as well, and I don't think you see the direct benefit, but over time, you clearly see how it makes a difference.
Yeah, and also I think what is important about all these habits and routine of successful people is not only to do them because, for example, Tony Robbins, he takes a cold bath every morning. If you're going to take cold baths every morning, but you don't know why you're doing that, it's not going to make any change. You have to understand how these people think and why they do that. Why you meditate, like what is the purpose of it, I've read a lot of books where people say meditation has given them answers to his business problems. They've invented a lot of things. Like some people, they would close themselves in a dark room, just sit and write down ideas. And there's different techniques, but you have to understand what you do. Not just because, okay, meditation is good, yoga is good, so I'll do it. But what does it give to you, and what are you trying to get out of it, find out for yourself, One of the other things that I'm thinking to do is to go for a silent meditation retreat for 10 days. I'm just, because,
Long though.
Yeah, it is long, but not in terms of I'm afraid of it. It's just hard to find these 10 days where you can actually escape,
Yeah. Okay, I'll ask you one last question. And that is, so this program's 8 months, so it will end June 1st, 2018. Where do you want to be June 1st, 2018? And why don't you tell it to the camera? So you're telling your future self, you're going to watch this again on June 1st next year. And I want you to, so it's a challenge, you're giving yourself a challenge. So tell yourself where you want to be in one sentence, make it as concise as possible.
All right, Nikita. Well, I believe that on the June 1st, you're going to be an active model, an actor. And remember that where we are is the result of who we were, and where we go entirely depends on who we choose to be. That's it.
Cool, man.
Thank you for the interview, man.
Well, thanks for joining me in.
Great luck with that, and I believe that it's gonna be big.
Yeah, well, we'll see. But we're definitely going to chat again, because I think we could have some.
Awesome.
We could share some really cool advice, well, amongst ourselves, but also for everybody else watching. So
definitely.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
See you next time.